She wanted an open marriage. The words dropped out of her mouth one night over dinner like they were nothing. We were eating quietly, the hum of the fridge filling the silence, when she said, "I think we should try an open marriage." At first I laughed. I thought it was a bad joke, but the look in her eyes told me she wasn't joking. Something inside me broke. We'd been married nearly a decade. We had built a home, a life, a history. And now she was asking me to share her with strangers, like I was a roommate, not a husband. I asked her why. I asked if I wasn't enough, if I had failed her somehow. She shook her head and said, "It's not about you. I just want freedom." Freedom. That was her excuse. The days after were brutal. She started going out more, always with vague excuses. Girls' nights, retreats, work dinners. She came back smelling of perfume that wasn't hers and cologne that wasn't mine. And me? I buried myself in work, pretending I didn't notice, because admitting it would make it real. That's when my best friend Mark stepped in. "You can't just sit here and rot," he told me one night. "She's living her life. You should live yours." I told him I didn't know where to start. He smirked and said, "Don't worry. I set you up on a blind date." At first, I wanted to refuse. My marriage was collapsing, and I was supposed to act like I was single, but Mark wouldn't let it go. He gave me the time and place, and against my better judgment, I went. The restaurant was buzzing when I walked in. I felt nervous, bitter, like I didn't belong there. But then she walked through the door, and everything shifted. Her name was Claire. Dark hair, steady eyes, a calm presence that disarmed me instantly. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She was just herself. When she smiled, it wasn't forced. It was warm, genuine. We ordered drinks, started talking, and for the first time in months, I laughed. A real laugh. She asked me about my life, my work, my hobbies. When I told her about my wife, how she wanted an open marriage, how lost I felt, she didn't pity me. She just said, "That must hurt, but it says more about her than it does about you." Those words hit me hard, because for so long, I had been blaming myself. Halfway through dinner, Claire leaned back, studied me, and said softly, "I probably shouldn't tell you this on a first date, but I'm her sister." My heart stopped. I thought I misheard, but she repeated it, steady as ever. Claire was my wife's sister. I wanted to walk out. Every instinct screamed that this was wrong. But she reached across the table, touched my hand, and said, "I'm not here for drama. I just wanted to see the man my sister is throwing away." Something in her voice kept me in my seat. After dinner, we walked through the city. We talked about childhood, about dreams, about regrets. She told me she was disappointed in her sister, how she'd watched her spiral and couldn't understand why. I told her things I hadn't said out loud to anyone, not even Mark. The fear of being abandoned, the shame of not being enough, the anger I carried like a weight. She listened, really listened, and in that moment, I felt seen in a way my wife hadn't made me feel in years. I won't lie, lines blurred, feelings rose, but it wasn't about revenge, not really. It was about connection. Two people, both hurt by the same person, finding comfort in each other's presence. Did I feel guilty? Yes. Every time I looked at her, I saw a piece of my wife, but I also saw something my wife never gave me anymore: understanding, respect, care. That night, when I went home, I sat in my car for almost an hour. I knew my marriage was over. I knew there was no going back. Over the next few weeks, Claire and I stayed in touch. Coffee, walks, quiet moments where she reminded me that I wasn't invisible. My wife noticed my distance, of course. She accused me of cheating. The irony almost made me laugh. She screamed, cried, tried to turn it around on me. But by then, I was calm. I had already let go. The day I told her I wanted a divorce, she tried to play the victim. "You're leaving me for someone else?" she snapped. I shook my head. "I'm leaving because you left me a long time ago. You just didn't admit it until now." Her face crumbled, but I didn't stay to watch. Why? Claire wasn't the reason I left. She was the reason I remembered I had the strength to. Looking back, I see the irony. My wife wanted an open marriage. She wanted freedom, and in her selfishness, she opened the door for me to find someone who valued me, even if only briefly, for the man I was. She wanted freedom, so I gave it to her by walking away. In the end, betrayal didn't destroy me. It revealed the truth. It showed me that love without loyalty isn't love at all. It showed me that I was worth more than being someone's backup plan. She wanted an open marriage. What she really gave me was the chance to start over and the reminder that I was never the problem.